So let's start by deep dive into the program. And my first question will be for you, Yvon. Can you describe a little bit what is 5G Open Road?
Yes, sure. So the objective of the 5G Open Road program is to demonstrate how the 5G could contribute to the benefit of user, of industry, of territorial community, and of the society. The the 5G Open Road consortium gathers 17 major players in three different sectors. First is the mobility, then the service provider for the service deployment, and the telecom and digital. In the telecom and digital, you will find Nokia, Bouygues Telecom, Capgemini, Montimage, and Smile. In the mobility, the PFA, the Platform Automotive, is French society. Some car constructor like Nokia, sorry, Valeo, Renault, Stellantis, Twinswheel, and Mila, and GoGo Network, and service provider, Cerema, Systemix, Lacroix City, and Lutac and Vedecom. The idea of this project is to make a technical revolution around connected and automated mobility in urban area on open road. So we choose four use cases to demonstrate this technological revolution. First is smart crossroad to improve the traffic fluidity, to protect vulnerable, and car place detection as well to the for around the city. The second one is the autonomous last miles delivery. Third one is the autonomous car transport on demand. And last one is what we call the geofencing, which is the dynamic traffic control. The objective of this program is to evaluate the benefit of the 5G around this the performance of the 5G, how it improve the quality of life, the new mobility services. Second is to define a framework because we would like to replicate what we are developing in this project in other area. So it's important to have this replication of these new services. Third, it's the experimentation of these new services on open road in urban areas, we say. And the last one is to start the marketing phase and how we move from this new technology to commercial services.
Thank you. And can you, I mean, there's different initiatives around mobility in Europe and elsewhere around the globe, like the 5G AA. What's specific in terms of approach with 5G Open Road?
First specificity is it's driven by and financed by the French government. It's 90 million euro 3 years program co-financed by the government and the partner of the consortium. The first specificity is that we bring all the actors from the value chain of the mobility in the city. So it's quite important. It's a complex ecosystem where you will find some private and public actor. You'll find some big company like Nokia, like Capgemini, as well like startup because they are part of the picture, and as well some academic players which are at the top level of innovation in some specific point. So that's the first this complex ecosystem to manage if we want to bring something new live on urban on the market. Second one, can move if you. Second one is the fact that we are experiencing that new services on open road. I mean on urban area, so in real life, which is not on the closed area, but in real life with real traffic. So it's something. So there is a strong connectivity with the territorial collectivity who are looking for this new kind of mobility. Then the specific is the fact that we are not talking only about innovation, but also innovation to commercial services. So we are building some business case around this new mobility, which is quite important in this huge consortium of partners. And last but not least, we are developing all that in a methodology, agile methodology, to ensure that each investment made on innovation have a return on value, and we do it in real time with a very small cycle of a few months to demonstrate that we are developing the subject in the right sense.
So we're 1 year into the project. What are some of the first achievements that you can tell us about?
The first one is the collaboration. There's a strong collaboration between all the partners, which is, as you see, it's a lot of people that are all together to make this innovation. So there is a strong momentum on the project after 1 year, and people say that it's a key accelerator of the initiative. Second is the accelerator is done by the 5G. 5G is a key accelerator today for the innovation on the mobility connected mobility market. Second is the first pilot. We developed first pilot in France, where we are very proud of that. First pilot is the car place detection. So this is the first time in France that we have this kind of service. Cars are able to detect a car place, and we implement the first delivery, autonomous delivery from grocery to academic campus. So we should have some picture there, but I think not working for the time being. So we have two nice pilot that has been done, and if we what were the lessons learned about this project after 1 year? First is thank you. Finally, we got it. So you can go forward because I already discussed about this one. Thank you. So first achievement, we got car place detection. As you can see, it has been demonstrated. It has been demonstrated in close to Paris with all the consortium. And the second one is the delivery for. So there is from a French company, as you can see on the screen. With a 6 kilometers fully autonomous delivery from the grocery, from the marketplace to the campus, academic campus in France. If we talk about lesson learned, so we discussed about this collaboration, strong collaboration. Second is the political commitment. Today, such initiative is endorsed by the politics, and this is a strong dynamic that is given by this commitment. Third is the data. Data is a key accelerator, and we need to have a strong data governance around all the stakeholders to make this innovation live. After this is more than obvious, but I'd say that the cyber by design is mandatory on such a project because we talk about security, so on. So needs to be done at the core of the network of the project. Then we have the sustainability for such new mobility services, it's important to talk about the societal achievement that you can provide with such a program, and sustainability is part of that. We need to align all the measurement of sustainability of such a program at the use case level. So this is one important point. The last 2 points is about the business case. First, the business case is very important to move from the innovation to a commercial service. So to give the possibility to each partner to retrieve about their innovation, to retrieve benefit of that. And last but not least, it's the protection of the IP. For example, if we need to have a strong legal part around the partners to protect each other IP, to be sure that we can validate and use it as a commercial service.
It's both convincing to share the data to create value on top of each of the partner and protecting the IP as well. Thank you, Yvon. Maybe I'll turn around to Gilbert. Gilbert, Nokia has been a driving force in shaping this project. Can you describe why Nokia decided to invest in this initiative, and what is your role in the project?
No, it's what you say. It's very important. This project is very important. You see the size of this project, 90 million euro of investment. It's a European project, even if it's financed here by some ecosystem which are more in France with the government. But it's a part of a European project, and we have some objectives there which are important. What is important for us in general in Nokia, providing a solution for 5G, it's to see how the 5G can contribute to the industry and how it can be used with all the technology which are planned in our vision until 2030. And we think one thing, which is one size, no one fits at all. And that means that it's very important, the power of the ecosystem. It's very important to work with a partner like Capgemini, but over part of the ecosystem. You see the richness of this ecosystem. We have startups, we have the competitors. In fact, for the car constructor, you have Renault and Stellantis in the same group, working together to find what will be the future of mobility. So it's very key to see that in this movement that we have of a digital transformation, we go from a car which was only hardware to something which is now software and with intelligence inside. And we can use now all the technology linked to the artificial intelligence and all of these things in order to really to rethink in terms of services what will be the impact on the future of mobility. I want only to, you see perhaps in the press that we have a new logo here, Nokia. And if you see that, it's very interesting, because if you remove the OI, it's open innovation, in fact. You have three signs, and if you see it separately, it doesn't mean anything. What is important is that all the components doing the brand. So if you compare that to one ecosystem, you can say that a company cannot develop alone the future of mobility. We need all these players, each of them with their expertise. And working together, we are able to progress. We are providing solution for the connectivity, your integrators, you have all these people which are knowing the business model of the car, of the V2X and so on. Nokia is not working only for the open road. We are in one of the, we found the association of the 5G AA, Automotive Association. We are also doing some pilot with Polytechnic in France, also on the smart mobility. We are doing a lot of pilot in all Europe. I think we have 33 pilots around automotive in the world. So that means that it's very something very important to define all these services for the future, and we have to do it together.
Maybe, Jérôme, I'll ask you the same question Why did Capgemini decide to invest in this initiative?
A little bit for similar reason. I did like the Nokia logo story. At the end of the day, 5G Open RAN is a bit unique compared to other programs of the same kind. So that's why we invested heavily on this one, even if we are also part of other ones. Because there are many interesting aspects. It's a complex program, not only from a technology standpoint. First, because it's at the crossroad of a number of industries. You've got telco and digital, did mention it, auto, we spoke about it, transportation, smart cities. So it's at the crossroad of many things. The second reason is that, as you said, it is something which is involving a lot of different players, public, private, industrial leaders, startups, which makes it a bit unique also. And third, it's also interesting because it will, in terms of apply benefits, it will validate a continuum of technologies. We have 5G, we have edge, we have data, we have AI. All of that combined in order to deliver tangible benefits around, you mentioned sustainability, CO2 reduction, around economic models, which have to be tested and validated, around traffic fluidity and other things. So all of that makes it a bit unique, but I agree with you. The most interesting thing in this specific program is the ecosystem dimension. Considering the number of players, all the value chain which is here, including competitors between themselves. You mentioned Renault and Stellantis, we could quote others. So at the end of the day, for us as Capgemini, our job is to be a complex ecosystem orchestrator via our consulting, IT, engineering capabilities. So it was important for us to be in that project. Also from a talent perspective, because at the end of the day, such projects are very interesting in terms of attracting people or upskilling people. And if you look to what our teams are doing in the project, we are doing coordination. We are delivering a shared data platform. We are working on assessing the value models, the business case for the use cases. We are working on the assessment of edge technologies, for instance, on on-board, off-board information treatments in the context of mobility services. So at the end of the day, it does fit very well with what we do in a context which is quite interesting because it's not only about innovation, it's about applied innovation on a topic which is of interest for many players.
Thank you. Maybe Gilbert, this particular project is around mobility, so connected and automated mobility. But as Nokia, you're pushing those new frontiers of technology like 5G and edge towards other sectors. What kind of lessons learned can you derive from this particular project onto other industries?
Yeah, what is I think very interesting in this project, it's open road. That means we made the experimentation of all these services on a real open road, and we try to see two angle. One which is for the public, I would say, so under full coverage, network coverage from Bouygues in that case, to see how this kind of services can be used and what will be the limit in terms of things, and what we can bring on top of that with some private networks or PCs. For example, here in Spain, we are working with Telefonica and Stellantis. We did the coverage, a smart tunnel, where we are able to test all the communication, vehicle to everything. That means vehicle to vehicle, but also vehicle towards the tunnel. That means we have information on the light, on the if there is an accident, something. A lot of information of data which are inside the tunnel can be communicated inside the car, and the same. The car is able to transmit information, and for that we need a small, for example, private network, wireless 5G, and we are able, thanks to the latency, to react in few milliseconds if there is an accident, and we can act also if we have the possibility, because after, of course, it's a cooperation between our platform and connectivity and the constructor of the car and all the services which are around that, to allow, for example, to access to the brake, to make an urgency brake if there is an accident in the tunnel, for example, or to be able to evacuate the car from the tunnel if there is a fire. So things like that, or to communicate in the city with all the crossing streets, crossing fire, to be able to see what is in the canyon, urban canyon, if there is an emergency vehicle which are coming, to be able to be aware of that. So you see that we are testing this both, and I think it's quite complementary. And Nokia is really there to provide such solution around the private network, wireless networks, things like that, in order to test this kind of mobility on open road, but also to offer in the last mile, what we say nice mile, some different services that we see with the geofencing or the delivery robot.
Thank you. And Jérôme, again, sort of a similar question. What parallels can be drawn into the work we're doing around mobility on open road and some of the other industries we are working on with 5G, AI, edge computing, etc.?
At the end of the day, the value of this project is around the lessons learned it will provide to the many industries involved in it. And by the way, you remember I hesitated a little bit to validate the investment when we started. But I did validate because I was convinced that this program will be beneficial for a number of the industries we are in. So for instance, if you take telco, if you look to the monetization of 5G and edge, the use cases we have here are very interesting because it provides an angle which is slightly different from what we usually see or hear. If you look to auto, it's quite interesting because in this context, you know, in terms of computing, sharing, processes, data, real time to enhance the onboard experience, we have a unique laboratory, I would say, but it's not by chance that both Stellantis and Renault are in, as well as Valeo and some others, in order to understand what they can do from that. If you look to public sector, which is one of our large sectors, it's interesting for cities, territories, governments also, from many aspects, because first, it can give a view on the way to prioritize investment and data infrastructure deployment. It's also an interesting, if you look to the use case, an interesting bed test, or I don't have the English word anymore in mind, sorry for that, but in order to look to the financing of investments around mobility services. It's also interesting in terms of thinking to the rollout of end user services. So back to the business model part. And last but not least, because there is a regulatory part which is quite significant in this type of project. And the regulation is not totally dry in many countries around those aspects. So it's also an interesting test case in order to support the finalization of those policies. So at the end of the day, many aspects for the industries which are in, but also I believe much more, because if you look to logistics, if in a meeting just before we're speaking about ports infrastructures, so there are also many other industries in which we can apply the use cases we have here in order to replicate.
Okay, thank you. So we have a lot to expect from this program. And maybe last question for you, Yvon. What's going to come up next in the next 12 months in this program? What can we expect?
We are expecting new services on open road around Paris. New services. We're expecting new partners that will take advantage, as you were saying, Jérôme, about this platform that we are building all together with the consortium. So welcome to come. And last but not least, I will say, I hope that in 5 years or 10 years, maybe you will use such services that we are developing here. And we will remember that I heard about it during this World Mobile Congress, and It was innovation at that time, but now it's used by everybody, and so it's common use. So it would be a great usage for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your perspective. Maybe I don't know if there's a question in the audience. No. All right. Well, that means it was very clear. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for sharing your perspective,
Thank you.
and thank you very much, everyone, for listening in.